I was going to tell you a little bit about my testimony, but I'm going to take a different route. I want to tell you about one of my friends, and I hope that's okay tonight. I want to tell you about a friend of mine that is one of the best friends I've ever known. He's a friend that knows exactly what to do and how to do it. And I've always wanted this friend, and I got him when I was younger. This is the type of friend that when I was called into the ministry and was scared to death and had really no idea what to expect, he was right there with me. This is a friend that didn't say anything, but he was right there beside me. He loved me. The same friend that 4 months ago when I got a phone call and told that my mom had cancer, and it was at the lowest place I'd ever been in my life. This friend was right there beside me, loving me, not saying a thing. This same friend, when I have other buddies that go off and they're not following Christ anymore, this same friend's right beside me saying, it's okay. I still love you anyway. When I'm broken for them, he's right there beside me. This friend is also your friend. This friend is Jesus Christ. And this last song that we're going to sing is going to talk about the love of Jesus, the love that he has for us. In these verses I'm going to read to you, there's going to be a thing that says this is an unknowable love. And it's kind of confusing. Why? If there's this love that we can't know, then how do we know it? And I'll read those to you now, and then you'll know what I'm saying. It's in Ephesians 3, 14 through 20. It says this: For this, because I bow my knee unto the Father of the Lord of Jesus Christ, of whom the whole family in heaven and earth is named, that he would grant you, according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with the mighty by his Spirit in the inner man. Here it is: that Jesus Christ may dwell in the hearts by faith, that ye being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend which the saints, what is the breadth, the length, the depth, and the height, to know the love of Christ, which passeth all understanding, that ye might be filled with the fullness of God. Know unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that which are asked, or that we think, according to the power that worketh in us. This is the King James Version. It's kind of hard to understand, but it said, you will know this unknowable love. And for me, that was confusing. Maybe that's confusing for you. This love that says you're not going to know. So how do we really know it? Well, at the age of 8, I got saved. That's when I began to know this type of love. There's a lot of people in this world that are never going to experience that love. They're going to be broken, and they're not going to have a friend like I have. One that can know exactly what I'm going through, and I don't have to tell them anything. They know exactly what I'm going through. And you guys also have that same friend that loves you and will be right beside you in your times of brokenness, in your times of weakness. But maybe you don't see Jesus as that friend that loves you. Maybe you see Jesus as the one that corrects you, slaps you in the back of the head when you mess up. Or you see Jesus as the one that gives out all these rules that we have to follow, but you don't see him as the one that loves you. So tonight, my challenge for you is to see Jesus as that, the one that loves you in your time of weakness. Jesus is someone that loves us when we're unlovable. If you think of this past week, this past month, what are the things that you've done, the thoughts you've had, the sins that you've committed against God, and still yet he loves you? In this verse it says the depth, the length, and the height. That's how much he loves us. You're saying, how can I physically see the depth, the length, and the height? Well, I think the best way that we can see that is on the cross. The moment they drove his feet into the cross and he stood up, that's how high, that's how much he loves us. The width, when he stretched his arms out and they drove his hands into that tree, that's the width that he loves us. And then finally, when they took that rugged cross, when he's nailed to it, and pulled it straight up and it fell into the ground and all his weight began to pull on the nails in his hands and his feet, that's the depth that he loves us. And as we sing this last song and it talks about his love, spiritually and emotionally get involved in that and understand that you are loved. And in your weakness, when you're scared and broken, and you wish there was a friend that knew exactly what you're going through, think of Jesus, because he is that friend. And so as we sing, just emotionally get involved in that. And don't let these singers just sing, but spiritually sing as well.